Hey guys, it's me, Brandon Colonel, again with another late night, almost early morning review. The next knife review that I have for you guys is on a company that I can almost guarantee that you guys haven't heard of. It's Knives Ranch, and I'll let you guys pause that if you want to check over anything on this, but otherwise I'll continue now. It is a company that is based out in Texas, and this is probably something that's going to polarize a few people to the point where they stop watching the video now, but if you want to continue the video watching for fairly quality product at a cheap price, then continue even after I say it. But some of the parts are made in Pakistan. There you go. Primarily the blade. The steel is forged in Pakistan, and it's a genuine Damascus blade made out of 1095 and 4340. Basically, those steels are forge welded together to make a very beautiful Damascus blade, and it is like I said, it is beautiful. I am in love with this blade design. But so it is all forged by master smiths in Pakistan, and it's actually fairly well done. It's a nicely strong blade, and the edge retention is amazing. I put it through about 4 different cardboard boxes, and which were, mind you, incredibly thick. And I'm going to tell you right now, there were two other knives that I was putting it side by side against, because I was testing all of the knives on the same day. And I will show them to you now. And I'm telling you right now, this $30 knife right here beat both of them, because the other 2 knives that I'm about to show you actually only went through about 1 box before it started showing severe signs of slowing down, showing signs of chipping. The only thing that this started to show as far as signs of wear that the other ones didn't show even after they dulled was even after the first box, the mirror polishing was gone. It was gone. It was all scratched. The mirror polishing was scratched all to pieces, but the edge was still there, and it was still razor sharp. And 3 boxes in, I just gave up. Now, for the 2 knives that lost. Yep. The $500 Dustin Turpin Jason Browse collaboration Strife, and the Riyat Knives Horizon B, or Horizon variant. I called it B for so long. But yeah, both of those knives actually made it through 1 box before showing signs of slowing down, for being chipped and all this stuff. And a knife that I paid $30 for went through 3 boxes and was still able to shave the hair off my arm. So this knife is amazing. Honestly, I never thought that I would find a $30 knife that I was this impressed about. So that just goes to show how really good this is. The fit and finish, there's a couple of things that I'm not too happy about, but overall, the rest of the upsides of this knife were really enough to say I can just get over that. The fit and finish, as far as how the pieces fit together, absolutely seamless. You cannot tell a transition from one material to the next, except in very small spots. Like right here, you can tell like my finger catches ever so slightly, but otherwise, every single part, there's another part right here where it catches ever so slightly. But otherwise, those 2 spots, you can't tell a transition from material to material. The wood on here is Indian rosewood. It has a red liner, which I forgot to ask what that was. But now let's see. I'm fairly certain that that's a brass pin right there. And even in there, you can't really tell a transition at all. You can tell a little bit more on this side, but that may be due to the fact that it's possibly the side they even peened it on. I don't know, but you can tell a little bit more on this side than you can on this side. But even then, not much. It's an incredibly wicked sharp blade. Fits really comfortably in my hand. Somebody who has bigger hands might be a little lacking here, but otherwise it fits really well. Let's see, the logo might not last quite as long, because after a little bit of testing, the logo started wearing off a bit. So after a while, that might wear off completely with use. Who knows? But overall, after the amount of work that I've put it through lately, it's actually held up fairly well. And like I said, it's seen quite a bit of use. I've whittled with this thing. I've done the boxes with it. I've carried it around as an EDC for quite a few weeks now. Basically, ever since Blade Show, this thing has not left my belt. Excuse me. At least on the days that that I actually can wear this thing. Because if I'm going to work, obviously this thing is not on my belt because I can't take it to work with me. But any day that I am actually off of work and in plain clothes, that's where this thing is at. It is on my belt. Basically, they don't really have a name for this. They just simply call it Knives Ranch Neck Knife. That's about it. And if you look on their website, it'll be $50. Probably plus the shipping. I don't remember if they have shipping costs or if they just include that in the price. But it actually comes in a different sheath than what you see here. They basically just call this the cowboy style sheath, which this is a handmade genuine cow leather sheath. So that's another bonus here. It's all made by hand. But yeah, it doesn't come with this at all. You can purchase this sheath separately, but yeah, this was a Blade Show thing, and it doesn't actually come with it. It comes with a fairly basic neck sheath. It's just like a square molded sheath that, if I'm not mistaken, it has 2 holes in the top of it, so that way you can actually wear it as a neck knife. But yeah, which is the primary purpose of this thing. I actually got it for the belt knife application because it came with this. And it was a fairly small knife, it's fairly unobtrusive, and I could tell from the start that I would be able to modify it as you've seen, so that way I could carry it as a vertical carry knife. Basically all that I did was I looped some paracord around it this way, and then to anchor it in place. Then I've got 2 other places right here. One is just simply right here, so that way it can be as tight as possible. And then the other one right here that actually goes through my belt. So that way it's leaning flat against my side, like my side being this, and it's leaning flat like that. So that way it's got the tension from the belt, but it's also got this that's actually holding it in place. So, fairly simple fix to get it vertical, because they don't actually make a vertical carry sheath for their knives of this size. Now, as far as the retention in the sheath, it's not going anywhere. It takes a dedicated pull in order to get it out. Basically, they've got a fairly ingenious system going on. The knife curvature is going this way, but yet the sheath design is curving this way. And now, it doesn't really even want to go in all that much this way, but for whatever reason, it does want to go in this way incredibly easily. How they accomplish that, I don't really know. It probably has something to do with the fact of the thickness of the knife. It might have something to do with that, but otherwise that actually acts as its own personal detent. The curvature just really works. There's something about that just allows it to work. But so really comfortable. I'm not going to say that you don't notice it, but it's definitely a lot more comfortable than my Obaki, which if you guys remember that review, the resin-soaked cord just irritated the living fire out of my side to the point where the only way that I could carry it was if I had an undershirt on. Which, in this heat, real feel lately has been about 118 degrees. So there is no way on earth that I've been able to wear an undershirt. So this has been a lifesaver, because I've been wanting to carry my belt knife, but this knife is the only one that would allow me to do it. So this is the one that I carry. It's really comfortable in hand, and it's razor sharp. Like I said, the Damascus is beautiful. The rosewood works. It's actually fairly grippy. It's not exactly as slick as people would think, seeing as there's no texturing. The wood gives you a lot of grip. Now, there's no jimping anywhere. I would prefer jimping, but you can get away without it. It's not exactly a necessary thing. They do have a nice ricasso, so that way it makes sharpening a little bit easier. In the past, I hated ricassos. I thought they detracted from the knife. But then, as I started really getting into sharpening, and started getting really good at it, then I started to see the need for a ricasso. Now, as far as really the one detriment to the knife that I didn't really care for, that kind of shows its price range, and that's the uneven blade grind. Yeah, you can see that it's severely leaning to this side, and it does slightly impede performance. Now, as far as major impeded performance, no, not at all. This thing is still going to breeze through whatever you put in front of it, and honestly, it's not going to be all that much affected. Now, if I could test something side by side to see a perfectly ground blade against this one, then I might see a bigger difference. But honestly, I really don't think that I'm going to. But in a hand ground blade, at least I'm pretty sure it's hand ground. Judging from what I saw and everything, it seemed like these were fairly handmade. But basically, going by knives like this in a $30 price range, like I said, and I'm pretty sure these are hand ground. If I get a differing answer from the guys when I actually email it to them, because they actually personally asked me to email them the video after I finish making this one. If I get a different answer from them, then I'll make sure to put that in the video here. But yeah, so until I get some other word, I'm pretty sure these are hand ground. And in a $30 knife, that's not bad. I mean, yeah, that is off, and it's a fairly severe detriment. But otherwise, in a $30 knife, well, at least for what I paid, $30. For what everybody else is paying, $50. But still, a fairly custom knife, $50, Damascus blade, genuine cow leather sheath. How are you going to beat that? This is still insane quality. Fit and finish is amazing. You really don't feel any transition except in these two spots. That's it. Sick edge retention. Absolutely sick edge retention here. Like I said, it beat out D2 and S35 VN. So this is some pretty high quality Damascus steel. It is properly heat treated, and it really holds an edge. It's comfortable to use. The only hot spot that I noticed after extended periods of time, and I do mean extended periods of time, was right here. And that's right on the pinky. Being a smaller knife, that's right where your pinky lands, and due to the slightly swelled up pommel here, then for my hands it wasn't the most comfortable thing in the world, but it was still really easy to get past. So, all in all, I really like this knife, and I will continue to carry it, and I might actually look into more pieces from Knives Ranch in the future. I might get a slightly bigger knife. But yeah, I really, really like this knife, and they're almost guaranteed to see some more business from me in the future to see if all of their pieces are as amazing as this knife here. But yeah, it looks like all of their blades sport the same Damascus blades, except for one. I saw one was actually made out of I want to say it was a Nicholson file. Yeah, it was a file knife, and it was basically a sister knife to this. And it was at the same price range. Now, that I would say is not quite as worth it, because for this you get a Damascus blade. Damascus in and of itself, I would say, is far beyond any file that they could possibly hope to use. So that, personally I feel like it should be just a little bit lower on the chain as far as price range compared to this beautiful Damascus. But hey, it's their company. They can do it with it as they please. But yeah, so this is an amazing knife. It's been a constant companion to me, and I would love to own some more of their knives in the future. So honestly, guys, don't let the fact that that the blades are forged out in Pakistan do any disservice to you, because these are amazing knives. Definitely go out and buy one. As always, YouTube, stay safe.